What's up, internet? ThatTrocket here. First, before I begin the video, I want to say Happy New Year's. It's crazy that I even have to say that, but it's been a moment since I made a video. And by moment, I mean 3 months ago. It's crazy because I was trying to complete this video before the end of last year, but there was this thing that kept creeping up on my back. What's it called? Oh yeah, procrastination. So it took a while to finish this video. But all that matters to me is that I finished the video, okay? So let's get on with it, all right?
Whoa. You was just gonna continue the video without hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button? I'd appreciate it if you do so, because for a small channel such as myself, it is a hard time getting seen. I'll wait. Okay, continue.
I have finally finished the HD-2D remakes of Dragon Quest 1 and kinda Dragon Quest 2. After the Dragon Quest 3 HD-2D remake was released, I was actually getting kind of interested in Dragon Quest itself. Now, I've always known what Dragon Quest was, but I just never paid it no mind, to be honest. But I did love that the character designs were made by Akira Toriyama, the legend. Rest in peace. I wasn't too interested in it, but after I had heard the combined first and second games of Dragon Quest would be releasing soon, I decided to give it a try and buy it on the day of its release. Now, I gotta be honest, I don't play a lot of RPGs. I've had friends that try to get me into them, but after playing a couple minutes of it, I just stopped playing it after a while. I don't know, it just gets boring. Maybe it's because I just prefer having the story given to me and I don't like making stuff up. Or if the leveling up system gets annoying, or the bosses, but I just don't play them a lot, which is weird because I love Undertale, and Undertale is just straight up a RPG, which was everything I just listed. I don't like too much in RPGs. So when thinking of it coming out, I was just like, maybe I should try something new. So I bought it.
No, don't say nothing. Don't say I already know what you're gonna say. But if you're saying you want to try something new, why don't you play Roblox? I'm not playing it, okay? Okay?
And I'm calling it an RPG, but it's actually specifically called a JRPG, which is just a subgenre of an RPG. It's an RPG with anime aesthetics, just so you're not confused. I completely beat Dragon Quest 1, but I still haven't finished Dragon Quest 2 yet. But because of the progress I've made so far on it, I'm still going to give the review anyway, because I had almost 3 months to beat both games, and it's obvious that it's going to take almost a year to beat Dragon Quest 2. So enough delay. Let us proceed with review of Dragon Quest 1 forthwith. That's how they talk in Dragon Quest. I'm just copying how they talk in Dragon Quest. Don't make fun of me. That's how they speak, not how I speak. Now, going into Dragon Quest 1, I was actually kind of intimidated. Before getting into the game, I had watched some reviews and stuff prior, and a lot of people had said that it was a really good game. So I was ready to see how it was going to be. And I'm not going to lie, it exceeded my expectations. Now, the story for Dragon Quest 1, you play as a hero who is a descendant from the mighty hero Eldrick, who's the hero that you play as in Dragon Quest 3, and you are tasked by the king to defeat the Dragon Lord, who is plunging the world into darkness, and you are also to save his daughter, Princess Gwaelin, and to restore peace. It's a pretty basic RPG story, and just as basic as this story, surprisingly, the combat in the game is pretty basic as well. Which actually surprised me at first playing, because I didn't know that the game was gonna be just like this. It's just straight up a basic JRPG. Now, I guess this system was easier for me with this game because in Dragon Quest 1, you only play as one character, fighting multiple enemies at a time. In some other RPGs, you use different characters that have different roles, but it was very easy for me to get into Dragon Quest 1. The exploration in this game was very nice and cool as well. I like the way that they did it, but one of the main things I loved in this game was definitely the combat. The combat was one of the best things I loved about this game. To the enemies and bosses you fight, to the music that plays when you go into fighting your opponent. It makes the whole fight itself feels epic, and it hypes you up, especially since you can see your own character while you're fighting your opponent. So it looks cool going into a fight with an enemy that's twice your size, or just straight up going against a dragon. As you progress through the game and level up, there's a bunch of abilities to unlock and new moves to learn. You can also buy weapons and heals from the many stores that you visit as you progress the game. I also love the colors and designs of many of the places you visit and the enemies that you fight. It just makes everything pop and look so much better. I also love the learning aspect of this game. I'm not gonna lie. When getting into difficult parts of the game and when I wanted to learn a new ability or get a new weapon, I looked up some YouTube videos. I also looked up videos for strategies on how to beat certain bosses. But something about doing that just made me feel so nostalgic to when I was younger, learning how to do other stuff on some games and not knowing so I looked up videos on them. It just kind of took me back to my childhood experiences playing video games, which it actually felt nice, because now the games I mainly play nowadays are online shooting games and multiplayer games. So it feels weird going back to playing just a straight up single player game and looking for advice on stuff. Dragon Quest 1 was honestly, in my opinion, a great game, and I didn't beat and grind the game all in one day. But throughout the times I was playing the game to completion, it was a really fun experience and I had a good time. Now, I'm not going to act like I didn't have some moments, because these bosses in these games were really throwing me off, especially the final boss, which I had to multiple times go back and level up or get more equipment for. But man, I tell you, it is satisfying when you beat these bosses, especially bosses you thought you couldn't beat at your level.
Yes! Yes!
Long shall it be remembered, Dragon Quest 1 was a great game indeed. Now, I knew getting into Dragon Quest 2, I knew it was going to be completely different. Especially in Dragon Quest 2, you use more than one character that have more important roles to play in each of your fights. Now, the story of Dragon Quest 2. After 100 years since the first Dragon Quest game, the descendants of Eldrick rule different kingdoms, but when the evil high priest comes and destroys one of the kingdoms, the cousins of Eldrick from the separate kingdoms comes and join forces to defeat the evil high priest Hargan. Now, I have not finished Dragon Quest 2, but I can tell you so far it is going good. The gameplay and the way it plays in combat is exactly the same for how the first Dragon Quest 1 is, but the vibe of it feels different, especially the music. The music that plays when in battle is different from the one in Dragon Quest 1. But the story of the game is really nice though. And yeah, die is it. The HD-2D remakes of these games are beautiful and I would highly recommend them. It'll take a minute to beat them, but you can play them at your own pace and at any difficulty you want. You can go normal difficulty, which is what I did, or you can go hard or easy. And you can switch between these difficulties at any time of the game. If you're just going through both games regularly, these games separately are actually pretty short, but I think it's worth it, honestly. I'm definitely going to get the third HD-2D remake of Dragon Quest once I beat the second. But I'm not going to lie, after playing these, I do feel like playing more JRPGs. After playing this, another JRPG I've had my eyes on is one called Lunar, which I think looks cool. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. I'll try to try more different games, one of those being RPGs. I've been looking into playing more RPGs, and some of those I've been looking into is Elden Ring and The Outer Worlds 2, because I've been just getting more interested, but I'm definitely taking a liking to these JRPGs. I'll try to upload another video as soon as I can. It's just that the snow outside looks so fluffy and it makes me want to give it a big hug. So once I'm done giving it a big hug, I'll come back with another video. Until then, see you later.